Are you guys excited about our next guest? So we're on day 2. How was the Comic Con been so far? You guys having fun? Awesome. Make sure to go check out the RGB Jurassic behind the escalator. You get to ride a dinosaur. It's lots of cool stuff. Check out all the vendors, all the guests. I am so excited to introduce our next guest. You guys, are you excited? You guys know him from the Hellboy movie and its sequel, from Sons of Anarchy and a litany of other great projects he's been in. Put your hands together for Perlman! All right, Ron, you can sit wherever you like, Ron. You can sit on a table if you want, whatever you want to do. Anyway, how are you? It's good to see you. I'm good. Is this your first time in Corpus Christi?
I think so.
Yeah? How's it treating you so far?
Anybody ever seen me here before?
Maybe. Maybe. You'd be hard to miss, I feel like. Well, I hope you're enjoying your stay here. We're really excited to have you. Big fan. I know all of us are big fans. I want to talk with you a little bit about some of your projects. I kind of want to start, if it's okay, like there's so much that we can talk about, but I'm trying my best to keep it to a few questions. Make sure and keep some questions in mind, you guys, and get ready to line up here soon. So if you think of your questions, we're going to open it up to the audience here soon. But I'd like to start with something that I remember from my childhood that you won a Golden Globe for. So the Beauty and the Beast series on CBS in the 80s. Who remembers Beauty and the Beast? With your co-star Linda Hamilton, which I love, Sarah Connor, and people know Sarah Connor. So, I mean, that was such a huge TV series at that point in time. I know my parents are actually in the audience. They watched it. It was a big fan of that series.
Let's have a hand for her parents.
My parents are here. They're so supportive. They're so supportive.
Want to talk about Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah. My mom was excited. She was like, I love this.
No?
Yes, big fan. So again, what a cool series to kind of like really catapult your career. I know you did a lot of projects before that, but really kind of came into, you know, the cultural zeitgeist during that period of time. Obviously won the Golden Globe for that series. Little fun factoid, by the way, did you know that George R.R. Martin wrote for that show? Which is so bizarre when I realized that. I thought that was really interesting with Game of Thrones. And then we had also the writers of 24 and Homeland also worked on that show. So we had a bunch of really great writers on that show. Talk a little bit about that experience and being part of a series that really helped pave the way for future fantasy romance series on television before that was really a thing, before that was really mainstream. What was that experience like for you?
I mean, no one, including me, thought it would get past the pilot because television, especially network television, was not known for doing really original, unique, breakthrough kinds of models. And there had never been anything like Beauty and the Beast, you know, an otherworldly creature living under the streets of New York who kind of dressed like he was in a Shakespeare play, very Elizabethan and very gothic, and a romance without any actual touching, I mean, aside from a hug and stuff. But that was chaste, so it was like doing a gothic novel, a gothic romance novel in prime time. It was like a contradiction in terms. And I always thought every moment we had on the air was kind of borrowed time because we did okay. We never, you know, had like huge audiences, but the audiences we had were incredibly devoted and very vociferous. And the show garnered a lot of critical praise, which is, I think, one of the reasons why it lasted as long as it did. But actually, as you mentioned, it was the coming out party for Howard Gordon and Alex Kanzer, who went on to write Homeland and 24. And this was their first writing gig after they got out of school. George R.R. Martin was toiling away at doing his horror little things and Game of Thrones novels, but he took a little break to be an episodic writer on Beauty and the Beast and wrote what had to be among my favorite episodes, is the Halloween episode where Vincent actually gets to walk among, you know, publicly, because everybody's dressed up as a beast anyway, so he fit right in finally. episode. So it was like nothing filled with nothing but great memories and a lot of distinguished, a lot of like, not the kind of thing that you associate commercial television with. We ended up doing an album of poetry, which is one of the most beautiful collections of 19th and 20th century poets, including Robert Frost and William Wordsworth and Shakespeare. And yeah, it was a trip, you know. It was like my first ever commercial success, but it was not commercial at all. So, which kind of laid the groundwork for the rest of my career, which, you know, no matter how commercial or mainstream a project was, it was kind of fringy feeling anyway, even Hellboy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, yeah, good guys. No, and I think that's what makes your roles so special and so cool, is it's not conventional. It is a little more fringe, a little more, but I think that's what appeals to people. That's what, you know, you get massive cult followings because of that. And don't cut yourself short. You absolutely mainstream projects that went huge. I mean, we talk about Sons of Anarchy. I mean, that was a huge show. I was a big fan of as well. And Hellboy, really. I mean, the OG Hellboy, and there's a lot, I think, a little, I would say divisiveness, but you know, there is a new iteration of that. It's great, but nothing will beat your Hellboy for me. And I think we can all agree with that. I mean, such an iconic role, and I mean, really just, you know, it's a huge, I mean, we're all just huge fans of that. And then the fact that you worked with Guillermo, I know people bring this up to you all the time, but for those of you that aren't familiar, there's a long history here with Ron and Guillermo del Toro, who directed both of the Hellboy films, but also some other past projects. Kronos was also something that you guys worked on together. Talk a little bit about the friendship and the impact that it's made on your life working with Guillermo. What behind the scene, maybe like quirk or ritual, maybe that a fan would expect that you learned from Guillermo, or just something special that you remember from your time working with him?
I learned how to eat dessert first and then go to the entree. That was a little Guillermo trick. I was in his very first movie. He was a 26-year-old, still had pimples, never made a movie before, young Mexican kid. He brought me down there to do what turned out to be a movie that was all in Spanish. If I'd known that, it might have been different, but I didn't find out until I got off the plane in Mexico City. And it was called Kronos. And it was, our relationship on that went way beyond just collaborators. We really dug being in each other's company to the point where we felt like we were bros, like real bros, like family at the end of that thing. And I think because of that spirit, Hellboy, Guillermo ended up fighting for me for 7 years for me to play Hellboy. One studio had it for 5 years and realized they're not going to get anywhere with Guillermo in trying to persuade him against having me play it. Then he went to another studio, they wouldn't do it. And for 7 years he fought, and I'd never seen anything, I don't think I've ever seen, I know I've never seen anything like that. But that doesn't define the special relationship that I have with him. And then that was a game changer for him, and everything changed after Hellboy, and then Hellboy 2. Sons of Anarchy came up because of that, you know, and so he had an impact on my life that I can't even begin to even put into words. But having been along for the ride of watching him emerge from an unknown kid who'd never made a movie before to one of the most highly respected film artists on the planet has just been a privilege and a real cool kind of ride, real cool. I feel like I'm in the sidecar of some cosmic juggernaut adventure.
I love that. No, definitely, right. I like it. Everybody's so excited for some cocktails. I love that. So you talked about playing Hellboy. In some ways felt very personal and kind of transformative for you. Was there a particular moment during filming where you felt the character most deeply, that you connected with, either physically or emotionally, that you really thought?
I was a little guilty about taking the check because when I don't know how to explain this without it sounding like a total idiot and immodest, but if you read the Hellboy comics, he spoke in one-word sentences. Hellboy had no personality whatsoever. He was just a one-dimensional comic book hero. So when Guillermo needed to find a human model on whom to base the three-dimensional version of Hellboy for the movie, he was looking for somebody who was an underachiever slob who'd rather stay home, play with the cats, you know, never do his laundry, just watch Marx Brothers and Three Stooges movies and eat pizza. And so he modeled it on me. And so I didn't feel like I was acting. I mean, in fact, I wasn't. I was just being me. You know, this slob, underachiever who, you know, I mean, I feel like I do have superpowers, but I don't choose to use them. Just like Hellboy, I'd rather stay home and watch fucking Marx Brothers, you know, like. So I felt like I was stealing money from a baby, you know. I was like, you're paying me for this? This is what I do at home, man. You know, the only difference is you put some rubber on me.
Only 4 hours of rubber on you, which is something you went through quite a bit, I think also through your career. I've heard about the 4-hour rule, which is interesting. When that process is happening, do you go through your own process of kind of prepping to get ready to go out and, you know, do your lines, do your roles? There's something kind of internal that happens, because that's a long, grueling time to be sitting in a chair, and also pretty claustrophobic, I think, sometimes.
Well, it turns out, and here's another, you know, like bulletin for you. No one sits around and does nothing better than me. And I used to come to work, and for 4 hours I just sit around and do nothing while they were putting my makeup on. I was just sitting there listening to music and, you know, taking cigarette breaks, and, you know, that was like, I mean, come on. You really don't need to feel bad for me. I was like, this was my pleasure.
I love that. No, but, okay, we've got some questions coming up. I have a couple more before we open it up to the audience. A little bit of a sense of anarchy, we kind of touched on that. So definitely Clay Morrow, one of the TV's most complex, I would say, and morally ambiguous characters. Was there ever a scene where you disagreed with Clay's actions, but found a way as an actor to justify it? You know, to say, you know, this is why, and this is why, you know, you're kind of sympathetic to your character, even if they do bad things. Did you ever have a moment where you justified it in your head?
Almost always. I don't, I've said this publicly many, many times, that Clay Morrow was the closest character I ever came to turning down, because I didn't feel him, I didn't understand him, I didn't relate to him, I didn't understand the way he was wired, I didn't understand his hierarchy for how he made decisions, when he chose to be violent, when he chose to be ruthless. All of that stuff was very difficult for me to approach using my own value system as a jumping off point. And I almost said no, but then I had this little angel sitting on my shoulder going, "You can't say no, you call yourself an actor, you pussy." You know? So that guy said, all right, shut up already. Shut up with the pussy already, okay? I don't remember the question, but I'm sure I had a good time giving you the answer.
That was a better answer. No, I was just more about like how you justified, you know, his character, even though. You know.
I was always uncomfortable playing Clay, because he required me to use other skills than my own field of experience. And then you start to worry about authenticity. You start to worry, am I coming off like naturally and realistically? Because that's basically the job, the actor's job, first and foremost. How do you think I did? That angel on my shoulder calling me names.
Right. It was really cool, that kind of Shakespearean arc that kind of went through that series. I mean, that's kind of, I think, at the root of Sons of Anarchy. There was a lot of those themes. But what was it like kind of working with, like, you and Kate Segal had such a great, you know, chemistry and like emotionally charged scenes. What made those kind of on-screen relationships between Clay and Gemma so compelling from your perspective in working with Kate?
First of all, Katie was married to Kurt Sutter, who wrote all those kinky sex scenes we did together. So I thought I was involved in some sort of really weird shit, you know. And I had to take a lot of drugs in order to pull some of that stuff off. And if you'd like a list of the things I was on at the time, I will happy to provide them for you on my Instagram page.
Go follow his Instagram page.
What was your question?
Not important. Not important. We're going to open it up to some questions to the audience, but also I just want to do a quick shout out for his animated voiceover roles. He did some really cool. Afro Samurai is one of my favorites that I loved. He did a great job in playing that character. Your voice acting, you have such a great voice. Like your presence is amazing, but it comes through your vocal talents, your vocal acting, which is it's very tricky because I've had a lot of people that I've interviewed that have done voice work, and it is not to me, it is not anything less than doing, live acting in person. You have, sometimes in some cases, I think it can be trickier. And actually, can I just say that you did, when I was looking, I knew a lot of your body of work, but of course I do my research and do my homework, and I didn't realize you did a kind of not a huge role, but important pivotal role in a show that I really loved, which is Adventure Time. Any Adventure Time fans out there? He did the voice of the Lich, which is like the creepiest, just kind of like, it stayed with me a little bit, and I did not realize that was you. And so that was just really, again, your vocal talents also come across very well, just through that. You have a great voice, so it just really kind of comes through. So what challenges did you have, vocally for some of those voiceover roles?
The reason why I do so much voiceover work is because it's almost the purest form of acting. When you're creating a character for either the stage or for a film, you have some rehearsal time and you have some discussion time. When you come in to do a voice in a cartoon, you sit down at the microphone and you're giving your performance immediately. And it's a very kind of the most primal approach to just take a full swing at something before you've even had a chance to analyze it enough to get in the way of it. And I like that a lot. It's very kind of pure, it's very primal, and for those of us like me who are addicted to acting, I just love performing. It's like other people do crossword puzzles. I try to just play other characters. That's how I get off, And the voice acting is you're in and out. You're given a full performance of an entire episode of a show in a matter of minutes. And I dig it. That's why I dig it.
I love that. That's awesome. All right, guys, we're going to open it up with enough questions from you. We're going to open it up to the audience. If make sure you get right up on that mic because sometimes it's hard to hear. Give us your name and your question, please.
Hi there, my name's Tim. Going off of your voice acting, you're well known for the narrator in Fallout. And I was curious, a couple thoughts about that. If you've, one, played the games, and if you've thought about or been approached to do a cameo for the live action Amazon series.
Well, I can't talk about number 2. But just in not talking about it, I think I just talked about it. And no, I've never played a video game in my life. I don't even know what software or hardware. I don't know the difference between hardware and software, so that's already a problem. And then even if I did know what hardware to buy in order to play, put the software in, I wouldn't know how to push start or anything like that. So I'm a complete Luddite.
If you've got some young children in your family, maybe have them hook you up with how to do it. It's a worthwhile game, very good series.
I managed to raise a couple of kids who are old school like me. They're very, very analog.
Thank you so much for your question. Oh, we got so this is Kit. She is the other moderator that shares duties with me. Hello, Kit. She's fantastic. And she is dressed up, very familiar looking outfit.
No makeup on today.
She looks like my niece.
No makeup on today. Okay, so, I guess I don't have to see my name. So my question is, in 2012, I donned the Hellboy makeup for fulfilling a Make-A-Wish, and I know the recipient, Zachary, also went through the makeup makeup process? And I mean, overall, I just wanted to hear about how that day was for you, and if you have anything that you want to share about that.
So I got a call from Mike Mignola, who created the Hellboy makeup for Hellboy 2, and then applied it on me every day. We were very, very close. We've been working on Guillermo movies for 25 years. And this is long after we finished the gig, and he said, there's this kid who's part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which is my favorite charity on earth, who wants to meet Hellboy. And I said, sure, no problem. He says, Ron, before you say yes, I don't think you understand. He doesn't want to meet Ron. He wants to meet Hellboy. And I said, oh, I guess that's going to require more work on your part than it is on my part, because once again, I get to sit in the chair and do nothing, and you do all the gluing. And so I said, I'm game if you are. And it turned into this, it was a complete secret. No one was supposed to know about it. The only people who knew about it were Zachary's family and the people who worked at Spectral Motion, which is Mike's company. And, we turned it into like a big picnic. We had In-N-Out burgers and shakes and stuff, and took pictures and stuff like that. And, it went viral because somebody leaked the photographs, and they were supposed to be just in-house. But the main thing is that the last I heard, Zachary's doing good.
Thank you so much.
She came to me before this and was like, I really want to ask him about that Make-A-Wish. I think that is, look at her, she's like so excited. She's like, I'm so jealous that you're doing a panel for him. Your name and your question, and make sure you get up on that mic.
Hello, my name is Hayden Connolly, and I'm a huge fan of your movies, and I have a question. What is the good role in your Hellboy movies?
Say, what is the good role in your Hellboy movies?
Yes.
Well, obviously, Hellboy is the goodest role of all. If I do say so myself. Look, man, got a chance to form an incredible relationship with Doug Jones, who played Abe Sapien. And
he's so great, guys.
The two of us had spent most of our professional lives at that point just being covered in makeup. No one knew what Doug Jones looked like in real life because he was always some sort of creature. Same with me. And then in Hellboy, we're best friends and we're freaks. We're not allowed in the real world because we don't fit in. We're not human. And so the bond between Doug Jones and Ron Perlman and Abe Sapien and Hellboy were mirrored. We understood what we were both, this kind of like lonely existence of, I'm an actor, I can make a living, but nobody knows what I look like and nobody knows who I am. And I think that was the basis of why it seemed like we were such bros on screen,
I love that scene when you're drinking beer together, the gate together. I just think it's such a memorable scene with you two. Is that fun to do with him?
Barry Manilow, man.
Yes! Thank you so much. Next question.
Yeah, I think I have one more question. How did you get in the cartoon character, one of the Stavaging brothers from the Disney movie Tangled?
Oh, yes. Great question.
Well, one of them spoke and the other one didn't, so I only had to do half the job.
Thank you so much for your question. I appreciate it. Your name and your question, and you can bring that mic down a little bit for me too.
Hi, I'm Fish Ivy. I'm really a big fan of you and all your work. I just have a quick question. Do you or Guillermo del Toro, do you have any upcoming projects coming up? Or are you tight-lipped about it?
He's got Frankenstein, which is, I think, going to open in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for that. It's amazing. I love it.
And I'm pretty much out of work. I have a lot of little indie movies way to send you to see them.
Come With Me is coming out soon, is that right?
Come With Me, but that doesn't have distribution yet. There's a lot of movies that I've done that don't have distribution yet that are looking for distribution. So I don't have anything to send you to. But, you know, keep your eyes open. Check your local listings, as they say.
And Come With Me, he's actually reuniting with Theo Rossi from Sons of Anarchy, which is kind of cool. So we will find it. These people will find it. They will find a way to find it, and they will watch it. And I believe also The Saviors is another project I think that you have upcoming as well.
Sounds right.
Awesome. So check those out, guys. Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you so much, too. I'm a big fan.
Hello, Sailor Moon.
Hi, my name is Ray. I'm a fan of your work as Hellboy and Jubaba from the Book of Life. But I was just curious about how long the makeup process took for Beauty and the Beast and Hellboy.
Same exact 4 hours each. There's some sort of an unspoken rule that these makeups take 4 hours. I don't know, but they all have. Ever since the very first one, all the way to now. Like whenever I'm gonna be transformed, it takes 4 hours. I think that is like the amount of time to get it right and also piss off the guy that, you know, who's playing the character, but not too much.
Thank you so much for your question. Your name and question.
Hi, my name is Cadence, and I wanted to ask you about how much chaos ensued with the amount of cats that you guys had on the set of Hellboy.
Chaos ensued.
Chaos ensues with that many cats.
It was Hungary. We were shooting in Budapest, and they have different kind of rules about how the animal people in movies, you know, what their health and practices are compared to here in America. You know, we're very strict about, you know, there not so much. So it was like, God. It was everything from cute to like, how long does he have to live?
All that 2 plus 2.
I'm not going to say a whole lot more than that, but
Understandable, thank you.
I had to take a shower after we shot that scene.
I remember.
I had to take a series of showers. Somebody help with that microphone, please.
And it's for the baby.
Yeah, the baby is the one with the question.
The baby has the question. And he really does go for the mic. He said it earlier.
Hello, this is Julius Juju Armstrong. He wants to
He's
know...
pretty determined.
Oh, he is. He'll get it.
Has he punched you yet today?
Oh, he's been slapping me the entire time.
That away, boy.
I wanted to know...
This kid was so tough with him when he was born. The doctor slapped him, he hit him right in the nose. Smacked him right back.
Say hi.
What's up, Julius?
Julius? What's his name?
Julius Armstrong. I wanted to know if you knew any lore or fun details that would have been in the third installment of Hellboy. Like, did the twins have names or just anything, any juicy tidbit?
Well, no, I don't have any small tidbits, but I did have a very big overview of what the story was going to entail. You know, Hellboy is summoned to Earth to be the seat of destruction, to destroy mankind. But then he's grown, he's raised for good. So the last episode, last installment of the movie was going to be which Hellboy prevailed. Is he the seat of destruction, or is he there to destroy mankind or save mankind? And it was going to be this incredible dialectic between nurture versus nature, almost philosophical in scope and very, very a huge cosmic struggle. And then the twins, one of them was going to look human, and the other was going to look, one of them was going to look more like mom, and the other was going to look more like dad. But guess which one was the good one? And guess which was, so if you know Guillermo del Toro's mind, you know which one was the scumbag, and which one was like, you know, going to help save the earth. It would have been an epic third to all the questions that were posed in the first two films, and that's why I fought so hard to get it made, and why I'm so pissed off that it didn't get made.
Same. I was about to say, we all were very pissed that did not that arc didn't feel complete, and so I think we all kind of...
You know, that little struggle you're having with Julius, you know you're losing, right?
I know.
It's going to stay that way for the next 30 years, okay? I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
Juju?
No.
Yeah, go ahead, smack her in the face. Who do you think you're talking to? I'm Julius.
Armstrong. Yes, thank you for your question, Julius.
Thank you.
And Mom, thank you guys.
Hi, I'm Trent. So I was wondering, of all the Hellboy adventures you've had, what was your favorite scene from the movies that you've been in?
Favorite sequence was when we got drunk, man. And it's not, you know, it's obvious when we sing Barry Manilow together, but the other thing is that when I take Abe, and we've just had like 8 6-packs of beer together, right? And I take her into looking at the sleeping Liz, and I talk about how in love with her. I'm so fucking drunk. And it's like, it's my favorite moment on both movies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. Speaking of Adventure Time, is that what you're working with? Yeah.
I'm Ethan, and I was wondering if there's any particular themes from Adventure Time you think ring truer than others, since it is a story or a show filled with many.
Say it again?
Are there any particular themes from Adventure Time you think ring truer than others? Like main ideas, life lessons?
In movies or?
Adventure Time.
Or in Adventure Time? I just thought that Adventure Time, you know, I never really was part of the whole saga. You know, I came in for a very specific play the Lich. And I don't remember reading the scripts from beginning to end, so I'm not really an authority on the world. But I do know what I had to do was incredibly well written. And I think I signed a lot of stuff at these Comic Cons from Adventure Time. So I only can go by, like, people really dug the show. Like, more than I made. You know, I just went and did the gig. And now I'm finding out, like, Fallout and Adventure Time had this huge impact that I never expected them to have. So you tell me. I mean, I guess it was a pretty good show.
I'm a mega fan. Like, I'm a huge Adventure Time fan too, which is weird. I know I'm an adult, but I love, you know, good nuanced, again, voiceover where people think it's a cartoon. No, there's sometimes so many nuanced layers to some of these animated series that really are impactful, and it comes from the characters that play them and voice them. That show was really nuanced, very existential. I mean, it was deep. I don't know if you realize it. And having you as the Lich, I mean, it stayed with me. Like, it was like a creepy. I mean, it was just you know, just the what you brought to that character. And again, you know, you maybe didn't realize it at the time, but it really did make a huge impact on a lot of people and through that show. So I'm a fellow Adventure Time fan.
I wish I could answer your question. I'm sorry I can't. But I will say, people look at cartoons and they think they're just for kids, and they're not. I mean, you know, there's a lot of animated storytelling that's really adult-oriented, very sophisticated, and very kind of mythic, you know, big ideas. So.
Afro Samurai was another great role you did. I love that series. It was so good. So, if fans of Afro Samurai out there, justice, so good. Thank you so much for your question. Go Adventure Time.
Hello, my name is Thomas, and I'm a huge fan. And besides Hellboy, I know you for voicing many characters in animated projects. One is Clayface from DC Comics. You voiced him in Batman the Animated Series and many other projects. And I don't know if you heard, but a live-action movie was announced not so long ago with Tom Rhys Harris in the lead role. So I have two questions. One is, if you were asked to be part of this movie, would you be down for it? And what piece of advice would you give to the actor?
What piece of advice? And what was the project you were mentioning? Get a little closer to the mic.
Yeah. A solo movie of Clayface
Clayface, gotcha.
was announced by DC Studios.
Well, okay, I'm I hope this gets back to Mike Flanagan, okay? I'm so fucking sick and tired of a director saying, I watched Ron Palmer give his performance of Clayface, and that's why I'm making the movie. And he hasn't fucking called me. I read about some punk fucking unknown actor who's gonna fucking play, you know, if I really had that big an effect on you, bro, I'm in makeup, right? It doesn't fucking matter how old I am. So if anybody here knows Mike Flanagan, say thanks a lot for jerking me around on the internet.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Your name and your question, please.
Hey Ron, I'm Jamie.
Who wakes the bear, bro? Don't poke the bear.
I'm just curious, so what exactly happened with Hellboy 3 before they decided to reboot the series and make it over?
Say again?
What exactly happened with Hellboy 3 before they decided to just do away with it?
You know, Guillermo is like, first of all, he's the quintessential artist, and most artists, real artists don't like to go backwards, they like to go forward. And he's got so many creative ideas that he wants to execute. And he just has too many things he wants to do to go back and make a third Hellboy. That's basically, you know, he wants to move forward, and I get that. And I don't know what else to say, you know. I was ready to do it, but...
I know, it's exciting.
Thanks.
Thank you. Guys, we have enough for maybe one or two more questions at the top, so just make sure it's just a single question. And
How did
it
you
goes in.
become Hellboy and Optimus Prime and Transformers Rise of the Beast?
Oh yeah, the Transformer was Optimus Prime. You're
I
asking
got
about-
one question. Maximus Autobots roll up!
That's the best question I've been
Love
asked
it,
all
best
day.
question ever.
Thank you. Have a
Awesome.
good day, my friend.
Thank you so much. All right, one more question, guys, and then we're gonna wrap.
Hello, my name is Marcus. Besides being the Beast, I remember you from a 1997 movie called Alien Resurrection. My question is, how was it working with Sigourney Weaver and Winona Ryder?
Well, there's an improvised line in the movie where I first see Ripley, and I said, oh man, you know, I can't lay off the taller ones. That's how Ron feels. So, you know, and Sigourney's tall, and so I get a load of her, you know, I go, damn. I may fuck with this. You know?
She also made that basketball shot in one go. She actually made that, I heard. It's a scene, by the way. Like, and I heard that you almost like messed the tape up.
I did miss it.
You had to edit it.
Yeah, a miracle of editing was to save it from me messing it up.
Thank you so much. All right, one more question, guys, that's it. And then we're gonna wrap.
My name's Josh. I was going to ask you, how was it filming The City of Lost Children?
That was trippy, man. I had seen Delicatessen. I had, you know, taken note of the fact that I'd never seen filmmaking like Delicatessen. These were maybe the most original, startlingly unique visionaries that I had seen in decades. And then suddenly I'm in this conversation to be part of their second film, which is The City of Lost Children. And suddenly I'm in there, and I'm in France making this thing. And it was like, you know, poke me every day, like, I think I'm dreaming, somebody wake me up. Because it was the whole time, it was like I was in a rarefied, you know, fantasy land. And I was the recipient of some sort of gift from the universe that, to this day, I still can't figure out, like, why me, but why question it, right?
Great question.
Thank you.
Guys, how great was it talking with Ron Perlman? Come on. So you know today's the only day left is going to be here. He's not going to be here tomorrow. So if you guys want to go visit with him and get an autograph,
I'm going back to the table, and I'll be there the rest of the day.
go, because you want to get while you can. Y'all put your hands together one more time for Ron